So Leigh, thank you so much for being on my first episode of Welcome to Finland.
It's awesome to be here. How cool is this?
Oh mate, amazing. It's a great
fantastic.
turnout. So look Leigh, you're a man of many talents. You've done so many disparate things, from stem cell banking, enterprise cloud, you've done music, you've done a ton of stuff. How do you do that? Like, most people focus on one thing in their career. Like, how do you do all these different things?
Good question. I think it starts with not having any rules, not having any barriers. So I try to remove, barriers to thinking.
How do you do that?
Well, I think just, that the view that anything's possible. You can do anything. So, if you see an opportunity, pursue the opportunity, uncover the idea and build out around that idea. And if it takes you down the path of biotechnology and stem cells, then go and learn about it.
Okay, so let's try and dig into the backstory here. So I'm sure everyone in the audience has ideas, right? So you've got all this noise and everyone's got ideas, but which ones are the valuable ones? Like, how do you know what's good? Like, how do you know what's good?
What I've found is that when I have an idea, it could be, catalysed by anything. It could be an article that I've read and I thought, wow, big data, that's the future. But so the idea is, how do you create a big data company, right?
So it's that asking the questions, right?
So it's questioning. It's always questioning. It's questioning everything. And then it's looking, what I find is that the opportunities are actually outside of the original idea. So it's trying to connect the dots. So we're looking at, okay, so these people are doing this in big data. Why are they doing that? Why are they investing in it? Who are they? What's this group over here? Why did they put that investment there? Who's on that board? Why is he on that board? How is he connected to that company? So it's really looking outside of that and then connecting the dots, because I find that's where the ideas are.
It seems to me like you build a bit of a map. You follow a lead and then it takes you on another journey, on another tunnel, and that sort of is part of your process, is that right?
Very much, yeah.
Right, so for the people in the audience who are out there watching the show, to try and get some of this knowledge across, if they have an idea, what would be your suggestion in terms of where do they pursue it? How far do they pursue it? Like, is there a point where they go, look, this isn't really working, there's too many people in the space?
Right, so that happens a lot. So you see that you come up with an idea and you get excited about the idea, and then you do some initial research and you think, oh, well, maybe I'm too late to the party here. But then what I try to do is say, okay, so where's that going? If this happens, what happens next? What's the moving parts that make up the big puzzle? So it's sort of like trying to work out what the puzzle is, but you don't know what the parts of the puzzle are. So you have to establish what the parts are first. And then once you sort of work out the parts of the puzzle, then you can put it together and say, okay, so this is interesting. This is where there might be an opportunity. And so I think allowing the idea to expand. I find a lot of people grab an idea and they go, this is my idea, this is my idea, this is my idea, and then they can't budge off that. So I'd be saying, well, yeah, nice idea as a starting point, but where is really the opportunity, and allowing it to expand out from that.
So look, I know you're a mentor and you sit on some boards and you work with other companies. You must see a lot of people that have their idea that come to you. Yeah. And so is that one of the services that you help them provide, is to break that apart, so look where the future is, look at the different directions, help them with that guidance? Is that something that you do? Yeah,
definitely. And I think, the first thing I say is that whatever your idea is, the chances of that being the thing that you actually take to market, that eventually goes out, it might be an idea for an app. We see a lot of, apps. The proliferation of apps is there's an app for everything. I had someone come to me with an idea about, home delivery for organic homemade produce. Right. And so I thought, well, not a bad idea, but where's the opportunity here? Where is the market? One of the things I say to people is, you need to find somebody that wants to solve this problem more than you do, because if they're out there, that will lead you to where the opportunity is.
Do you think that having a balance between left brain, right brain, or being able to sort of play music or interact with art or visuals, do you think that helps you in the way you see opportunities?
I think from the perspective of improvising, the idea of improvising in music is that you take some of the foundation, but then you can take it to wherever you want. So there's, in that regard, there's no barriers there, right? Improvisation is just that. So it's removing barriers. So, and I think the important thing is to give yourself time to think. That's really important. Do some research, understand something, reach an understanding about that, and then give yourself the time to sort of think it through. So I think that's true with music as well. You know, sometimes I'll have a melody going around in my head and I just got to get home and I've got to put it down, right? So that and sometimes when I do that, it doesn't translate as I thought it was in my head, or it changes and it morphs into something else.
Just to wrap up, do you think that the people understand what's happening with artificial intelligence?
I don't think they do,
Right.
no. And I think there was an interesting announcement that Google made just before Christmas. I think it got lost a little bit, but you know, where they have actually created the artificial intelligence to, you know, solve problems, and the machine itself worked out that the software they were using wasn't efficiently solving the problem, and so the machine created its own software on its own without any you know, prompting from the human interaction to solve the problem in a more efficient way.
Yeah.
So when you start looking at machines that are solving problems like that, that is again starting to, you know, look at that right side of that creative side. So I think that's really interesting. But to your question, I don't think people really fully understand the impact that artificial intelligence and then subsequently machine learning and the big data components.
And I think what happens when people don't understand things, they get in fear of it.
Yeah.
And so personally, I believe the value of human capital is going to shift from intelligence to judgment. Because a lot of legal reasons why you don't want artificial intelligence making decisions.
Yep.
So the fact that the seasoned professional will make the judgment. Plus on the other end, the ideation, the innovation, the ideas, the creation, that's fueled by the intelligence. And so once you can actually start to understand that, I think that the fear goes away a little bit. It's like, well, actually AI can help me rather than replace my job.
I think where the opportunity is in the artificial intelligence, from my perspective anyway, is where are we going to be creative in the application of those technologies?
Yep.
That's the key for me.
All right, well, great, Leigh. Well, appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And
Pleasure.
audience, thank Leigh Kelson.